Okay, good morning everyone. So in this lesson, we're going to learn about angles and triangles under drawing specifically. So let us learn the types of angles, okay? Because you might be told, okay, draw a so type of angle. And if you're not familiar with the type of angle that you're supposed to draw, then you'll be gone. So the first is acute angle, and it looks like this. And the other one is right angle triangle. I believe you're familiar with this one. Then we've got obtuse angle, which is greater than 90 but less than 180, and we've got a reflex angle that is greater than 180 but it is less than 360. Okay, so with drawing, you're not going to be using special instruments for you to calculate the angle, so you're just going to manually find an angle. Okay, then you just have to measure at the end to see if your drawing is actually accurate. So the angles that are usually easy to draw are angles that are divisible by 7.5. Okay, as long as you can get 7.5 in it, then it is easy for you to draw it. So these angles are like 90, 45, 30, 60, and so on. Okay, so let us draw in a 60 degrees triangle. So it's not triangle, 60 degrees angle. It is not hard, I can say. All you have to do is this. Okay, so you grab your ruler and your pen. So again, I'm just using a marker to ensure that you can see what I'm doing. So there we have it. We've drawn our line. Okay, then what we need to do next is grab your instrument, yeah, and then just ensure that you create an opening that is very favorable. Okay, not too much, not too small, but just fair enough. Yeah, so you adjust it to excuse me, favorable distance, not too small, not too big. And I believe you understand why I'm tying this around the marker. I don't think I should explain myself again, but yeah, excuse me, you get the idea. So how do you draw a 60 degrees angle? So all you have to do is just adjust it to a favorable distance. Of course, you're going to be using this and not this. Okay, so you just pin this and ensure it has gone deep inside so you avoid sliding. Then you just strike an arc or semicircle like so. Sorry, yeah, so like that. Okay, and then what you're going to do is go on either side. Okay, depending on which side you want your angle to open. If you want it to open this side or the other side, so specific, we want it to open from this side. Okay, so we go there, we pin it, and then we strike another arc. Okay, we do that. Okay, if you want, you can have it completed. If you want, you cannot. But what's important is this part right here. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to grab your ruler. Okay, then starting from here, ensure that excuse me, you're going to draw a line that touches this point and that point. Okay, then you're going to draw it straight like that. Then there you have it. You have your 60 degrees angle. Now how about a 30? Now to draw a 30, we're not saying 60 divided by 2 is 30. So meaning all we have to do is just grab this and then bisect it. Okay, cut it in half, in other words. Then we'll have our 30. So starting from here, going like that, that's our 60. Then our 30 will have to end somewhere in the middle. So what we're going to do to bisect it is just, excuse me, we do this. We stand on this point, okay? This one right here. And then we make it go deep inside. We increase it a bit. Then we strike an arc at the very top there, okay? Then we stand on this other end, right here. You strike another arc. Okay, then what we're going to do is, of course, this looks messed up, but I think you get the idea. Okay, if you want, you can be completing these lines, but it looks messed up, so it's best for you to just strike arcs instead. So I'm going to connect this point to that point, so it's going to be like that. So we have our 30 degrees, so just like that. So to construct a 15 degrees, you're just going to bisect 30, because this here, from here to here, this is 30, from here to here, this is 60. Okay, so for you to construct what angle is 15, okay, since 30 divided by 2 is 15, you're just going to bisect this. Okay, these two, just cut it in half, you have your 15. And 15 divided by 2, again, that's just 7.5. So you can just carry on with that. If you want to create maybe an angle that is say maybe, what can I say, maybe 75, Yeah, maybe let's go with that. All you have to do maybe is just create an angle, maybe that's 60, you see, and then you try to see it, okay, 60 plus what number am I going to use? You said, okay, it's 75. So you're going to create another 60 degrees and then cut it in 30 and then cut it again, that's 15, then cut it, that's 7.5. So you're just going to add up, so that's 15 actually, so you're going to use 15 plus 30 and you're good. I don't know if you get the idea, but that's the logic. All you have to do is just add things up, okay, using the same logic, just 60 degrees, 30 degrees, and just keep bisecting, and then you have your angles which you're looking for. So carry on carrying on under angles, we've got a right angle triangle, which of course looks like that. We've got an isosceles triangle, which has got only two sides that are equal. Then we've got an equilateral triangle whose sides are equal and the angles as well. Okay, so all the three sides are equal as well as the angles. Then we've got a scalene triangle whose sides are not equal. Okay, so these are the names, or should I say the basic names of parts of a triangle. Okay, because the material is saying that, okay, given the base of so much and the length of so much, construct a triangle AB and so. You know, if you don't know what a base is, of course you'll be gone, and if you don't know what an altitude is, you'll also be gone. So the altitude is the height, okay, of the triangle. The base is just its base, by base meaning the lower part of the triangle. Yeah, so those are the, yeah, so that's that. Then we've got the vertical angle. Okay, the vertical angle is the angle that is opposite to the base. So the base right there is AB, and then the vertical angle is the angle theta there. Okay, then we've got the vertices. You know, for those who've been following my videos under conic sections, I think you should be able to know what vertices are. So vertices are just corners of the triangle. Okay, A, B, and C, those are vertices. Then we've got the base angle, okay, which is between the base and the side. So the base angle in that case is this. Is it alpha? Yeah, that's the base angle. Okay, so now let's do some practice questions to ensure that, okay, we get to be familiar with these terminologies. So we've been told, saying construct the following triangles. Equilateral, given the length of side 60 millimeters. So what is an equilateral triangle again? An equilateral triangle is a triangle whose sides are equal. All sides are equal. We've just been told, saying the sides have to be 60 degrees. So let's get to it. So what we're going to do here is first draw the base. Okay, just draw a faint straight line. I know you may not be able to see it, but yeah, first draw the faint line, and then according to what we've been told, the line, or rather the sides of this equilateral triangle, has to be 60 millimeters. So all we have to do is grab this, okay, then starting from from here, okay, starting from there, okay, we measure up to 6, okay, so that's 60 millimeters. So starting from there, we draw our line, okay, there we have it. So let's call it AB. So this is A, this here is B. Then we draw our 60 degrees angle, because remember, every angle inside has to be let me do this. An angle, the sides of let me use this. The angle, rather any angle inside, rather the summation of all the sides, the summation of all the angles in the triangle always have to sum up to 180. Okay, and if we know, saying this is 60, this is 60, and this is 60, all you know the summation of all this will be 180. So in a similar way, this has to be 60 degrees here, 60 degrees there, and 60 degrees at the top. So let's create our 60 degrees right here. So let's start at point A. We go at the very corner there. We ensure that it goes deep inside. Hold on. Yeah, so we ensure it goes deep inside. Okay, so that we avoid sliding. Then we strike an arc like so. Okay, then we stand here, and then we ensure that it goes deep inside. Then we strike another arc, but this time we don't want to finish, because we want to finish the arc because we want to ensure neatness. So what we're now going to do is do the same here. Okay, in fact, let me just complete it. So we stand here at this point, and we ensure that this line touches this point and that point. So we're going to draw a straight line like that For this one, it's going to be faint. Okay, let's assume this is a faint line. Then we do the same at this point. Okay, so we stand here, ensure it goes deep inside while maintaining the same. Okay, you may not maintain, it's fine because the angle still be the same. So you strike an arc. Okay, then you stand here, right here, ensure that it goes deep inside, and then you strike another arc. Okay, then you're going to connect them. So what you're going to do now is ensure that this line aligns with this point and this point here. So let me just adjust it. There we go. Then when I draw, there we have it. Okay, so finally we've got this. We've created our equilateral triangle whose sides are 60 millimeters, and to confirm this, what we can just do is take a measurement. So starting from here, okay, that's one right there. Starting from here all the way up to 60, up to 6 right there. Let's measure it. So we know the length of this. We measured it. Let's try to see if it's the same. So starting from one there, okay, it's very much approximate because you know the instruments I'm using are just tied up instruments. But yeah, that's the idea. Let's see. Yeah, so there we have it. These things are correct. So moving on to the second question, we've been told to create an isosceles triangle given the perimeter of 110 millimeters and altitude of 42 millimeters. You see, an isosceles given the perimeter of 110 millimeters and altitude of 42. Remember, a perimeter, by the way, is more of the entire length. So this is 60, this is 60, this is also 60. Okay, so meaning 60 plus 60 plus 60, which is just 180, meaning the perimeter of this angle is 180. We can just grab it as it is, then we unfold it. It's its entire length. That's the perimeter. So now we have to create an isosceles triangle given the perimeter of 110 millimeters and altitude of 42. How do we go about this? Likewise, we're going to draw the base first. So just a faint straight line, okay? And then we've been told, saying that the altitude of this is 110. So you're going to go here, starting from there, okay? All the way up to 110, which is here, okay? So starting from here up to 11, that's 110, okay? So this is A, this is B. Then what we're going to do is, we've been told saying it has an altitude of 42 millimeters. So what we're going to do is we grab our instrument, okay, this right here, and then we measure 42, okay, starting from here up until 42 right there. So like that, we pin it to ensure that we pin it to avoid sliding. Then we go by 4, excuse me, by 4, 42 specifically, okay, just there, somewhere there, close, yeah. So we now stand at one point. Please remember, these lines that do not look like the triangle itself need to be faint, okay? So we strike an arc there, then we also stand on the other side, and then we do the same. So while maintaining the angle, rather the length, yeah, the angle of this instrument of ours. So yeah, then what we're going to do is we're going to grab our instrument and ensure that that tip at the top there is touching with this tip right here, okay? Then let's see, yeah, then you're going to draw a line, okay? So all these lines are faint except this one, right? Yeah, even this is faint. So now what we're going to do is, let's bisect this, okay? Let's bisect it. So to bisect it, we're just going to stand here, increase it to a distance that is greater than half, which is somewhere here. Then we strike an arc at the top and at the bottom, okay? And while maintaining the same angle, we stand on the other point, we strike an arc somewhere there, okay, and at the bottom, okay, yeah. Then we're going to grab our ruler, and then we measure a line. We ensure that this touches that, then we go straight like that, okay? Then what we're going to do from here is connect this point, starting from the altitude, from this line here, okay? Not starting from here where we had to bisect, where they had to meet, but from here, okay? We draw this line, we ensure that it touches this other end. And remember, all these lines we're drawing should be faint. Then another one, like so, okay? Then what we're now going to do here is to bisect this line and this line, okay? So we're going to stand here, this line and this line. Let's start with this. So we're going to start here, then we reduce it, then we strike an arc on one end, we also strike an arc on the other one. While maintaining the same measurement, we stand on the other side, and then we strike an arc. Hold on. We strike an arc. Okay, so this was supposed to carry on like that. Somewhere here. Yeah. We strike an arc there, and we strike an arc here. Okay. Then we draw a line that goes straight. Excuse me, that goes straight, touching this end and this other one. So, like that. Okay. Then we do the same for this. Let's bisect this line. So we're going to stand here, then we strike an arc at the top, we also strike an arc at the top, we also strike an arc at the bottom, we stand here, we strike an arc there at the top and at the bottom. Okay, then we're going to connect these two lines together, so standing here and there. So we'll do that. Okay, so what have we established? What have we been doing? Remember, this entire thing is just the perimeter of this angle which we're trying to draw. In other words, it is the entire length, okay, of the triangle. So now what we're going to do is this. Okay, stand here at this point. The whole point of doing all this is to establish this point and this other point. Okay, because we know what the altitude is. The altitude is its height. So we're going to stand at this point here, and then we ensure that this tip touches the end there. Then we draw it like so. Okay, this isn't a necessary step, but yeah, just for the heck of it, you also stand here, then you do the same. Okay, it's not really necessary because it's just an arc that's going to form. Now remember, all these things are faint. Now what you're going to do is standing here, going straight up, going straight up until the altitude. Okay, then you're also going to stand here and up until the altitude, and then there we have it. That there is the angle that we've been trying to draw. Okay, so this here is the angle that we've been trying to draw. And just to ensure that what we've been doing is correct, the altitude, remember, is just its length. Okay, the altitude is the entire length, so you can just take a measurement and try to see if it is what it is. Next question. So we've been taught saying draw a scalene triangle given the perimeter of 170 and ratio of sides 2, 5, and 3. Okay, so remember, the perimeter is just the length, the total length of our angle. Okay, so if your angle is, say, if your angle is this, okay, just at the corner there, if your angle is this, okay, the perimeter is, maybe this is 5, this is 6, this is 7. Okay, then 5, 6 plus 7 is your perimeter, the entire length of it. So when they say ratio of sides, imagine we've got an entire length here. Okay, maybe this length is 100. Okay, then they say the ratio of these sides is 2, it is 1, 6, and let's see, 1, 6, 2. Okay, so 1, 6, 2, actually 3. Okay, in total this would be 10. So meaning, if this here is 1, then this here is 1, this here is 6, this here is 3. Meaning this would be 10, this would be 60, this would be 30. We're just talking about the ratio. Okay, if the ratio of this angle that we're supposed to draw is 2 to 1, meaning the other one will occupy 75%, not 2, sorry, that can be 2. Let's see, 2 to 1. Now let's say the ratio excuse me, is 3 or 3. Let's just say 1 to 1. Okay, then meaning this side 1 to 1 to 1, meaning we've got 1, okay, as one side, 1 as the other side, and 1 as this other side. So this is that, and the other one. Okay, so let's just getting the entire length and then dividing it in what? In 3. Anyway, so I believe you get the idea. So back to our question. Okay, yeah. So a scalene triangle is a triangle whose sides are not equal. So draw a scalene given a perimeter of 170 and ratio of sides 2 to 5 to 3. Okay, so again, or rather likewise, what we're going to do is this. Okay, we just get our pencil, ensure that the baseline is faint. Okay, so we stand there, then we just draw a line that is faint, so we go straight like that. Okay, very faint, and then we get the perimeter, which is 170, so we measure that. Okay, so we get our ruler starting from 1 here, okay, all the way straight up to 170. So okay, this is 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, I do not, this ruler which I'm using isn't wide enough, but let's see, let's try to make something out of this. So this here is 1, okay, up to 10, that's 100, then up to another 7, that's 170. So let's just say we move straight like that. Okay, so that's 15, then let's just add plus 20. Okay, so we have our 170. So this is a perimeter of our angle. Okay, but we've been told no, this won't be enough. Okay, so let's get to it. So again, likewise, what we're going to do is draw our base angle, sorry, our line. Okay, faint line, very straight and long enough. Okay, then what we're going to do next is, we've been told the perimeter, and this perimeter is 170, so we just have to draw it flat on the ground. Okay, so starting from here, okay, where starting from here, we move all the way out to 170, but as you may see, this isn't long enough. We can just improvise and say 15 plus 2, not 15 plus 2, yeah, so for us to have 170, so we're going to stand at this point and then move straight. So this here is 15. Okay, we've been told it's 170, so I'm just going to say 15 plus 2, so that's 15, 16, 17. So we have our 170. Okay, that's the perimeter of that angle. Then we've been told saying the ratio of side is 2 to 5 to 3. So now what we're going to do here is this. Okay, you grab your instrument and then you ensure that you draw a line. No, actually, no, not this even. You have to stand at this point and ensure you draw a line that is not more than 100, not more than 45 degrees. By 45 degrees, you mean starting from here going this way. So it shouldn't be this far, shouldn't be this far, just somewhere there. So shouldn't be greater than 45 degrees. So we stand at this end, then we tilt it like so, but it has to be long enough. Okay, and we go straight like that. So let's just make it long enough. Yeah, then what we're now going to do here is this. Okay, what are the ratios of sides here? This is 2 to 5 plus and 3, 2, 5 and 3. So let's add this up. What is 2 plus 5 plus 3? So that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's 10. Okay, so now what we're going to do here is this. We grab this instrument and then we adjust it to a distance that is just favorable. Okay, shouldn't be too big, shouldn't be too small, just somewhere there. Okay, then we stand at this point. Okay, we strike an arc. Then what you're going to do is, while maintaining the same measurement, stand at the other one. Now remember, we're saying the ratio of 2 to 5 to 3. We get that total measurement. So that's 5 plus 3 plus 2, so we have our 10. Okay, so that's 1, 2. Will this be enough? I don't think so. Let's see. I won't have enough space, so please neglect this. That's an error. So we've got 1 there, then we've got 2, then we've got 3. Let me just rub this off like so. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and finally 10 there. Okay, then what we're going to do from here is this. We're going to grab our set squares. Of course, for the sake of this video, I'll be using these smaller instruments. Okay, what you're now going to do is grab your set squares. Then you ensure that you do this. Okay, you see, you're going to perfectly align these. Let me do this. You're going to ensure that this point touches this point. Okay, like so. That point touches this other point. And when you do, okay, the point at the top there touches this point at the bottom. Then when you do, you have to ensure that this other set square here comes straight like this. Okay, more of obeying this. If maybe it was like this, this other set square will just come straight like this and attach it like this. If this was like that, this other set square will just come and attach it like so. So we have to ensure that this point touches and this other point touches, and then we grab this other one, we put it right here. Okay, right there, yeah. Then we ensure that it aligns. We leave it there for now. Okay, then we're going to draw our line which goes straight like that. Okay, that's our first one. Then the use of this comes in. Okay, you ensure that it holds like that, so that this, the one at the top here, should be able to slide without changing anything. So it has slide, we will slide it, and we've stopped at this second point. Okay, so meaning we're now going to draw another one straight like so. Okay, then we just do the same. Let me just, okay, so my marker is drawing up. Let me just put a clip on it. Yeah, so we've drawn our line up to this point. Okay, then again we maintain this while this is maintained, and this as well is maintained. Okay, you just slide it like that, and then you draw your line. Okay, like so. Then again this has to slide like so. Okay, sorry, yeah, like that. Okay, then we draw our line just like that, then we make it slide again, then we do that, then we just make it slide again just like that. Yeah, so that's the idea. Okay, so what we now have to do is, we've been taught saying that, okay, this angle has got the ratio of sides according to that. Okay, and now what we're going to do is, they said 2, 5 and 3. Okay, so now what we're going to do is this is 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. No, sorry, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. Okay, so let's put a point there. Okay, and on the other one, this is 5. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we put another point there. Okay, then this is 1, 2. Now all that we have to do now is this. Okay, we found the points that we've been looking for. We've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2. So 2 to 5 to 3. Okay, we are going to grab our instrument, and then we stand at this point. Let's start at this point. Starting at this point, ensure that this touches this. Okay, like so. Okay, then we strike a visible arc. Okay, it shouldn't be too visible. Okay, then we also do the same, but we stand here. Okay, and ensure that it touches the other end. So we do that, touches this other end, then we also do this again. Okay, so they can't, let's see, did they give us the altitude? No, they did not. Okay, actually we are correct. I just didn't draw this long enough. Okay, so let's stand here again. and we do that. And the goodness of drilling a hole inside, there we go. So it touches here, okay? The goodness of drilling a hole is that should you make a mistake, you just get in it again. So we're now going to stand at this point, okay? And at this other point here, then we do that. Then also going to stand at this point, then up to this point, okay? We're going to draw a line, okay? And finally we have our angle we've been looking for. So this is an angle whose perimeter is 170, and the ratio of the sides are 2, 5, and 3. So next question,